if someone were to ask me, out of all the tools that you had in your bag as a fledgling entrepreneur who had never gone to business school and who didn't know anything about owning a business, what was the best tool? I would say an total comfortability with a beginner's mindset, with being the young grasshopper and asking anybody if I could buy them a cup of coffee, asking anybody for their input. People are so accustomed to being asked for their resources, but I think when you ask somebody for their input, they feel respected. And oftentimes, when you ask someone for their input, you get their resources as well. And so I was just coachable, and it became one of the fundamentals of how I ran my company. I've never, in the history of running my company and giving literally thousands of interviews, I've never heard someone say or admit, I'm not coachable. But people demonstrate coachability by how they respond in coaching moments. And I was coachable. And so I just sought out better players and I asked them for input. And I was a voracious learner and I read like crazy. I sought people out. I asked for input. I asked for feedback. And I think that between the input that I was being given, my gut sense, I think you really learn to trust your gut. And it's sometimes hard to hear your gut, especially when you're getting a lot of input. It's sort of a paradox, right? I believe wisdom is found in paradox. And sometimes I think our truest voice of wisdom is sometimes found through subtraction as opposed to addition, through getting out all of the content, getting out all of those extra messages, and actually getting down to that quiet place. We've heard the soul described as a wild animal, and if you want to hear your soul, just like if you want to see a wild animal, you don't go stomping through the forest. You go and you tiptoe into the forest and you sit at the base of a tree and you just wait. And eventually the wild animal of your soul will emerge. And so I would say, on one hand, I was getting a lot of input, a lot of addition. And on the other hand, it was a lot of subtraction and getting really quiet and really trying to hear my own inner compass as to what the path should look like.